This is behind the hand wheel I got here of a Bernina 910. You see here there is a hole there that goes over this screw. This part here connects to the mechanics of the sewing machine. So when this part is turning, the whole machine is running. Now I'll try to start it. You can see now that this wheel there that goes to the motor is turning, but the machine is not turning. And it is because there is a mechanism for the bobbin winder that is activated with this one. So when I deactivate it like this, you can see the machine will run, but when the winder is activated, it will go in and block the movement of this plastic part, and then the machine stops. So for now I will disengage this bobbin winder thing by this small tool. I like to make small tools of steel thread, and now I hold this bobbin winder away. So now the machine will run as it will normally do when you sew. When you turn the machine like that, now I'm running the machine, then if I hold this one, the machine will stop, but the motor continues to run. When the bobbin winder actually holds on this plastic wheel here, the coupling is deactivated and the motor can continue. You see here there is a lever there. I think you can see it, and it controls the needle stop. So and it is in conjunction with this mechanism here. When you run the machine like now and you lift the pedal here, what happens is that this solenoid here, the solenoid is pushing here, and then this lever goes up, and it actually blocks the movement of this plastic part. But it has some function more, because there is a small sensor there, and it goes over to a micro switch over here. So when the machine stops, it also pushes there and gives signal to the electronics that now the machine is in stop position, you can turn off the motor. And when it all happens, this solenoid disengages again, and then the machine has stopped. We'll try to do it a few times, and then you can see there how the machine will stop like that. I can try to stop it in other positions. It will be so that it will try to maintain a speed of about 150 stitches a minute when you have lifted your foot from the pedal, and then it will eventually stop when the needle position is supposed to be. You can actually alter the position here by dismantling these parts, and I'll go into that now, so you perhaps can understand this a little more. This is a kind of spring washer, and I will now remove it so you can see what is going on. It is held on by the hand wheel here. When you mount it, this hand wheel will press into this washer. Now I'll try to dismantle the things here. So I'll start to loosen this screw here. I have to say that this screw is actually different from original. It was damaged. I got this 3mm screw, and I got this small length of tube on top of it. This can also be a solution if this one has broken. Then we'll try to remove things here. This was the plastic here, and now I take this off. You dismantle this spring here, and then you start to turn the spring here a bit, and then you can take out the spring completely like this. If you turn it a bit counterclockwise, you can take it out. And here you got the spring, and you can see it's like this, and it has some torsion here too. Then you got this part. Now I shall try to explain how these different rotating parts connects. And I'll go up here, and you can see here, when I turn the motor, you can see there is two parts there, and the inner part is turned by the motor and the pulley there. Then this outer part here is turning the machine, so it's connected to the machine itself. Finally, we got this plastic part, and it is connected by a small slot there, and it goes into the spring from before. You can see here the spring got this part, and it goes into the plastic part, and this one connects to the machine. When the plastic part pushes on this spring, then it actually disconnects and loosens on this cylinder here for the pulley. So it will disengage the pulley like a coupling. This is a Bernina 910 of the earlier models, and therefore it only has one needle position to be positioned. I know that the 930 and maybe some of the later 910 models got two positions, so you can both have it placed up and down. And I think then the mechanics here could be a little more different, and perhaps you got two switches or something like that. But this is only stop within one revolution, and you only got one plastic lever there. I changed it to needle down. When you position it, it actually is this hole there relative to the end of the spring there. So you can position this spring all around here to about here, but in this area you cannot position the spring, and that means that there is some area of the sewing cycle that you cannot make the machine stop. And unfortunately for me, I would actually have liked the spring to be set about here, because I like to have the needle down position a bit after the hook has catched the thread. And it is when the needle is about 6 mm above the lowest position. With this position I could make 12 mm above lowest position. But it is still in the fabric, and therefore it is okay. And then I make a final fastening of this screw there. Okay. Now we can try to see what's happening. When it stops, then it stops there. If you make a fast speed and stop, it looks a little different, and I'll try that now. Now, after it stops, this lever actually moved, and it is because there is the spring here actually stops the machine. So now it is not stopped at the same position. It actually means that the needle has gone out of the fabric. You need actually to stop the machine while it's running slow. If it's running at high speed, it proceeds a little longer. It is not that accurate with the position. Actually, you got a lock screw there for this part, and I thought, okay, then I am actually able to adjust the position furthermore of needle stop. But it turns out you cannot do that because this lock screw goes into a hole in the shaft, and therefore it needs to be at that position. So it is not possible this way. The design of this clutch mechanism has puzzled me. So I hope this video has provided you with some more insight of what is going on. You may have more information about other Bernina machines. Some of them have a half-cycle positioning. So I would like to hear in the comments if you got some information about that and how many machines that has got a similar clutch